Probably haven't heard unless you're from Arizona. They're from Arizona.
Alright, hi guys, Jeff here with another fan demonstration. This time we're looking at another KDK. I just demonstrated one of these about a week ago, a little different style. And I have one more that I may be making a video of that's already spoken for. But I also got this one, so I figured I would put it up. I don't know the model name. If someone wants to comment and provide that information, that would be appreciated, because the model number is actually scratched off the tag on this. It's not even legible anymore. So this is kind of a unique fan in the fact that the top cover here actually is a plastic cover that attaches to the spinner motor itself, and there's two screws holding it on that need to be removed to expose access to the blade iron screws. So the bottom housing is stationary and the top spins. A little different than some of the spinner motors I've seen. Overall, this fan's in really nice shape. The blades may have been refinished at one point on the downward facing side because they appear to have different stain. I'm not sure if it's factory, how they did it back then or what, but there is a different finish on the downside compared to the upside of the blades. The fan is almost entirely complete. The only part I was missing was the J-hook and then the rubber grommet that would have gone through the top. However, I was able to substitute one from a different industrial I had to get her hung up. And so I hung it up yesterday, started it out, and low was pretty quiet, medium and high both had bearing noise present. So before I did anything, I thought, well, you know, sometimes these things sit for a while and they just need to be ran. So I actually ran it on medium overnight, went down, turned it off, let it sit for several hours, and when I started it back up, all of the speeds in both directions seemed to run quiet. So I'm going to not going to do anything with the bearings at this time, not going to oil them, not going to replace them. I think it may have just been lack of use. So we'll see if the noise comes back or not. Let me make sure we have power before I try this out. So yeah, we'll go ahead and I will start it on low, try doing that instead of starting everything on high this time, and here we go. So this should be low in downdraft. So not the slowest low speed, but then again, it's not too fast either. I think it's a nice low. I wouldn't call it an aesthetic low, but decent enough. So now we can go, if we pull this 3 times, we should be up to medium. Seems to run fairly smooth. I did notice one of the blades does seem to be a little warped, which honestly doesn't seem to be affecting it much. There's really not much wobble in this thing at all. Even on high speed, it runs pretty darn smooth still. So now if we do 3 more, we should be at high. Seems to be running quietly now, so apparently those bearings just needed to run for a while, I guess. Maybe if I go so far as putting on eBay, I'd put a little bit of oil in there just to be safe. But really, compared to the noise it was making yesterday, I wish I would have got a video when I first fired it up. It has completely quieted down. There's no bearing noise, so to speak, anymore at all. So let me power this thing down and we'll do a spin down. So medium, low, off. If you're interested in purchasing this fan, it may or may not go on eBay. I'm trying to decide that right now. It's not typically the style of fan I collect, and it's not one that I'm really particularly into or interested in. However, it's weird, and I always have a soft spot for weird things. So, don't know. I may or may not end up keeping this one. I'm not quite sure yet. And since I'm already down here, might as well do reverse. So similar to my other KDK that I demonstrated about a week ago, the white brass one, this reverse switch is also recessed and is a little hard to get to with your hands. So a screwdriver solves that problem quite easily. Let's me determine it. So we'll go ahead and do 3 pulls, get her started on low. Three more should bring us up to medium. Now we're getting a little noise. Maybe I need to run the fan in both directions for a while. So I assume if I go to high, we'll have even more noise. Downdraft was completely silent. Oh, you know what? That actually doesn't appear to be bearings. That was actually the light fitter rattling a little bit. Now that I got that tightened down, it's not making that noise anymore. Oh yeah, running nice and smooth now. Not the fastest thing, not the strongest air mover. I wouldn't call it a great air mover at all, to be honest. But cool, unique old fan, blast from the past, and yeah, it's about all I have to say. So I guess pull this 3 times. We'll do a spin down on reverse, and we'll call it a day on this video. Alright, hope you enjoyed. Once again, like I said, it may or may not be going up for sale, so you may see this pop up on my eBay account, GDogKZO, or you may not, depending on what I decide. And if you enjoyed this video, stay tuned for more. I'll have a few more fans I'm testing, and subscribe to my channel for more fan-related content.